You got it?
It's going.
Alright, so this is a secondary shaft coming out of Cf Moto engine, 250cc. Buddy and I took it out. Now we're going to put it back in. This is the gear shifter that hooks up to the secondary shaft just like that. Actually, let's see here, just like this. See? So the big gear, nope, just like that. So the big gear should be back here. There's a washer on the end of this gear here. There is no washer on the gear shifter mechanism. I thought there was, and so I couldn't close the cover on it, but there is no washer. Remember that. You got a washer on the end of this gear. Just a standard rule of thumb is there's a washer before and after every gear here. That's how that works. Okay. All right. So we're going to install it back into the cover here. So, Tom, you really have to get in here, man.
I am.
There's a little hole in here where the gear shifter gets lined up right into, and in these holes, this hole here gets lined up to this right here, and we're gonna go ahead and just put it in. That's one unit. Should fit in there real nice. Okay. You'll have to finagle with it a little bit to get it to work, but all the gears should line up evenly. Okay? So, come on. Okay, there we go. So if you look, if my buddy brings it in a little closer, let me get a flashlight. You could see how these gears back, the big gear back here lines up with this gear here, and this gear lines up with this gear here, and we're going to put another gear in that little hole there too, and there's one that goes on the bottom. There's a bearing in there. All the bearings need to have the shafts into them. Okay, there shouldn't be an empty bearing. So I'm going to grab these two here. This is a bigger one here, see? This has a washer on the end of it. When you pull this thing apart, you'll know that when you pull it apart, just be careful to tip the cover up a little bit, so as to try not to let all the gears fall down. But if they do, that's fine. One really important thing I want you to know is that there is a 14mm bolt on top of this engine. In this bolt, there is a bearing and a ball and a spring that goes inside here. Okay, take this bolt off first before you pull the cover off, so that you can maybe try and get the spring and the bearing out. Otherwise they'll fall at the bottom of the case when you pull the cover off. That's fine as long as you can find the bearing and the spring, but it's just so you know, if you didn't know where the spring and bearing came from, they come from right inside this bolt here. That's where they come from. And my friend and I are doing this video because we had a hell of a time trying to figure out why the cover wasn't going on properly, and it turned out that the gear shifter mechanism didn't need a washer on the end of it. So there you go. Alright, so that's in there real good. That's in there real good. Remember, there's your no washer on this one. No washer on this one. There's a washer here. This one has a sensor here. Okay, the washer's on the end of this gear here. You got a washer on the end of this gear here, and I'm going to grab one more gear. Let's see, what did I do with it? Alright, hold on here. Okay, then there's this gear here. Just try to remember how it looked before you pulled it all out, all the gears out. My advice to you is take photos with your iPhone.
Droid.
Oh, your Droid. Put that in here like this. And that lines up with this gear here in the middle. So just take a good look at that. You got a close-up of that? Okay, that's the way it needs to look. Okay, peeps? YouTubers? Alright. Okay, the next thing we're going to do is, this is the new case I had to buy for it. I actually got it second hand off of eBay for, I think it was like 27 bucks, man.
20 bucks.
20 bucks. You know how much all these other places want this case for? They want like like over $300 for this one-sided case, and it probably doesn't even come with the bearings. But yeah, just so you know, that's a ripoff. I mean, you got like TJ Power Sports, I think, that wanted like some ridiculous amount of money for it. There's a site called Hammerhead Parts or whatever that wanted like $400 for this side case. This case shouldn't cost more than 100 bucks, man. But anyway, that's neither here or there. I'm gonna go ahead and put a little lubricant on the end of this shaft, like so. Maybe a little bit here. Okay, that's fine. All right, and I'm gonna, when you put this on, oh shoot, the secret here also is you gotta lift this engine up a little bit to get it past the sprocket, because you're gonna need to bolt it in. Okay. What's the damn? Remember, Tom, try and pause it every now and then if you want to.